Hi guys, good morning. So today is Thursday and we have the biggest one. We have the doozy of all packs right here. This one will probably take you the longest. In fact, when we did this in class, sometimes kiddos would even go home with a little bit left to do. So try to really prioritize and spend some time on this. I don't want you to rush through as always. I want you to do a really good job, okay? This will probably be one of the last times we get to go over these things before the big ugly test. So I want to make sure that you are really working hard. Break it up if you need to. That's the advantage you have this time around, that you can break it up. You can do it for an hour, take a break, go back to it whenever you feel like it, okay? So let's get to it because this one will take us a little bit. Sorry, not sorry. All right, look at the first page here, okay? It says choose the best answer. Now, the reason why this one is so long is because it has a lot to do with estimating and measuring, and there are a million things you can measure. You probably didn't realize it all until you do this. There's a lot of things to measure, okay? So here, estimating. The amusement park sold 835 children's tickets and 476 adult tickets. Which is the best estimate? Did you see that? Did you circle that? Okay. For the number of tickets sold. So notice all of these are word problems. So you want to go through, put those investigative eyes on. When you see it, okay, circle those keywords right beside it, what operation it means to do, okay? That'll help you. I have you do that for a reason, okay? All right, so we have here 835. What I would do is I would write beside here 835. Now remember, if it doesn't tell you where to round it to, which is estimating, right? If it doesn't tell you, always go to the greatest place value, okay? So in this case, you're gonna underline the 8, circle the 3. Is that 3 big enough to change the 8? No, it's not, okay? So it's gonna stay an 8. And when you circle that, that's your 0 reminder. 0, 0, 800, okay? And 476 adult tickets, okay? So underline the 4, circle the 7, cross out the 6. Is that 7 big enough to change that 4? Yeah, it is. 5 or more rounded up the line. Is that how it goes? I think, hopefully. I'll go through the chant in my head in a minute. Feel free to do it on your own. All right, so we have 800 and 500, okay? So what am I going to do there? Am I gonna add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Because it doesn't really have a fantastic keyword, right? Now, if I would have done this, I probably would have put the best estimate for the total number of tickets sold. That might help, okay? But on this one, what makes sense? Right, to add. So 800 plus 500, C, okay? So you're gonna circle C there. I hope my math is right. I'm a little foggy. Okay, so go through here, do the rest of these. I will say on number 6, some people get confused on this one. Oh, that's 3. On number 6, some people get confused. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take 8,248. You're gonna round it to the nearest 10. Find that answer, okay? And take that same number again. Round it to the nearest 100. Find that answer. Take that same number again, round it to the nearest 1,000, okay? Then it says which number was not one of the rounded numbers. So you're looking for one of those answers you did not get there. Okay, let's move on. We're kind of racing daylight here too because I'm doing this outside today. Okay, next one. We have week 23, day 5. Okay, this is also more rounding, okay? So remember, on a lot of these, it does tell you where to round it. Some of these say to the nearest whole number, okay? Your nearest whole number is what place? 1's place, okay? So on this one here for number 1, it says round to the nearest whole number, and what's an estimate for 8 and 9/10 plus 6 and 7/10? Well, you're gonna underline the 8 because that's your whole number, that's your 1's place. Circle the 9. That 9's obviously big enough to change the 8, so it's gonna change it to a 9. So you'll have 9 plus, underline the 6, circle the 7. Is that 7 big enough to change the 6? Of course. So 6 7/10 is going to change to 7. So you have 9 plus 7. That easily became a first grade problem, right? 9 plus 7. Good, C, 16. Okay, go through those. Do your best job. Okay, go through, circle keywords, do everything that you need to do, okay? On number 6, it says round to the nearest mile. Okay, when you do that, again, that's gonna be the ones place. The nearest mile would be the ones place there, okay? Okay, next page. This is where some of the measuring starts. Week 15, day 5. Now, if you look on top, if you notice, it's kind of hard to see, it says metric. So you're gonna be thinking metric system here. Okay, what's the length of the rubber band to the nearest centimeter? Well, that was pretty easy. They gave you a ruler right there so you could measure it, okay? Now, it is in between 3 and 4, okay? Notice it said to the nearest centimeter. It's also in between 3.5 and 4. But what do you think? My answers here are 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 30 centimeters. They're planning on you getting mixed up with millimeters there. And 40 centimeters. So if we were doing this one, I definitely think it would be closer to 4 centimeters. Okay, closest to 4. All right, and then just answer those the best way you know how. Okay, remember millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter. Braxton, you can't see me, but a good hug, right? So a good hug is a meter, and then kilometers, okay, over half a mile. So just kind of keep those in mind as you're going through them. All right, next page. We have capacity and weight here, okay? And on capacity and weight, the first one we have here is a fish tank, okay? Now this also says customary. So this is where you're gonna be thinking about your big G, okay? So US customary, your big G here. Look at number 1, which is the best estimate for the capacity of a fish tank. 20 fluid ounces. Do you think you'd have like 20 drips? Probably not, okay? 20 cups, okay? Think about cups when you're measuring, with measuring cups. 20 cups, do you think that would be big enough for a fish tank? Okay, 20 pints. Remember, that's pints, not pints. 20 pints, closer. Or 20 gallons, okay? Kind of think about 20 milk jugs. Okay, and when you're thinking about this fish tank, think about a fish tank that's about the size, in class we always use the Thursday folder holder, you know, the big blue Thursday folder holder. It would be about that big, so it's pretty good size. So on this one, I would say the best answer here would be D, the 20 gallons, okay? All right, and read the rest of them. Do the best that you can. Remember, if you need to, do this number, okay? Okay, next page. Determining elapsed time. You guys are so good at this, and you'll be really happy because since all of these are elapsed time, what strategy does that mean you can use? Yep, your favorite, the T-chart. Okay, so you can use that, but feel free to use the timeline too, okay? All right. Next up, thermometers, okay? Well, what is the first rule of thermometers? We talked about that the other day. Anytime you have a new thermometer, what you're gonna do is you are going to figure out what it's counting by. Remember, it's usually 1s, 2s, 5s, or 10s. So look at these, okay? What are they counting by? I can tell you it's numbered by 5s, 45, 50, 55. Okay, but then in between there, it looks like it's the little tick marks. Those are by 1s. So looking at this, first thing I would do is I would put the temperature right beside that, okay? You can see here's 55. I know it's counting by 1, so that would be 56 right there. Okay, so beside this, I would put 56 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So I know how much that is, okay? That's about like it was Wednesday. Now, the next thing it says, if the temperature shown dropped 5 degrees, what temperature would it be? Yeah, when we say drop, that means you're gonna subtract that, okay? A lot of these, if you look at the very top of it, it says determining temperature change. Well, change is a keyword for what? Yeah, you're gonna subtract, okay? So I don't wanna be, spoiler alert, but you're probably gonna subtract on these. Make sure it makes sense, okay? But you wanna do that. So we have 56 here, minus 5, subtract 5, that'd be what? Yep, 51. Okay, next page, area is another way we know how to measure. Now, can you just multiply these? Area equals length times width? No. Luckily though, we do have the squares that we can count. Area, square area, it's always what we're counting in here. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to number these, count these, okay? I would love to see you number them though. I know it takes longer, but we can definitely be sure we have the right answer that way. And on that big ugly test, once you get it, I'm gonna love to see that you counted all of those. Now, if you notice though, there are halves in there, right? So don't let that fool you, okay? Count those as halves, okay? And you're gonna count all those up, put them over here on the answers. I know, we'll keep trucking. It's not ending. All right, look here. This page can be a little bit tricky, okay? I want you to look at it very closely because it says reading an American ruler. Well, knowing that we're reading an American ruler, what do you think this is measuring in? Right, inches, okay? Because it's not the metric system, it's not centimeters. American, customary, inches. Now, look at this one. This has this little bar right here, okay? But I do not want you to tell me that this bar measures 8 centimeters, look, I got tricked, 8 inches, okay? Because even though it ends at 8 inches, does it start at 0 where it should start? No. Okay, it starts right in the middle. Sometimes they're gonna wanna trick you like that on the big ugly test. Okay, don't let that butt fool you. Okay, you make sure that you are measuring the right amount from here to here. Okay, so looking at this, it starts at 5 and it goes to 8. I'm gonna count the spaces. 1, 2, 3. That would be 3 inches. Okay. So watch that, don't let them fool you. The next page, I can tell you, they do always start at 0. I know it doesn't look like it, but you have to believe that this bar goes all the way down, no matter how far it would have to go down, to the 0, okay? It's a little tricky, so really pay attention to all these details. Can you see that? Okay, hopefully you can. All right, if not, look at your paper, okay? So on this one, what they ask you to do now, first of all, it says metric ruler there. And then it says determine the length of the bar above the ruler. Write your answer in centimeters now. These are centimeters. We just switched over to the metric system. Now, if you look at this, it has each centimeter marked, but then inside, there are 10 tick marks. Excuse me. Okay, so these are actually millimeters in here. Okay, what they want you to do is they want you to write that as a decimal. See, look here. They're saying this first bar is 52 9/10 centimeters. Okay, so that's what they wrote on the side. Now look at number 1. Okay, what's the last whole number it passes? 4, right? So we would have 4 as our whole number that we would write over there, but we're not done because there are decimals, okay? This is divided into tenths, into millimeters. So if you count, it lands right on that middle one, the one that's a little bit longer. So that would be 4 5/10, okay? If you count those up, 4 1/10, 4 2/10, 3/10, 4 4/10, 4 5/10. Okay, so over here you're going to write 4.5 cm. Okay, that's how you're going to do that one. Make sure your whole number is the last whole number that it passed, and then however many little tick marks there. Okay, that would be your tenths place. Okay, moving on. I'm trying to work quick for you. determining appropriate measurement. Okay, let me get there. It's been a long day. All right, so determine which letter best answers each question. You're just gonna have to go through here, read these, okay? Do your best job. The height of a 2-story home, okay? Do you think that would be, is it getting too dark? I'm losing time. Let me go turn on the light real fast. Okay, hopefully that helped. I don't know if it did or not. All right, to find the height of a 2-story home, 12 inches, right? We all know how big that is. That's a ruler, right? So 12 inches, is that gonna be the height of a 2-story house? Not unless you're a Barbie, and then probably not even then, right? Okay, 12 feet. Oh, we're definitely getting closer there. 12 feet, that's a pretty good, we're getting closer, okay. 12 yards. Okay, so 12 yards, I know, that would be times 3, because there's 3 feet in a yard. That'd be 36 feet. I'm thinking about the first story, I'm thinking about the second story, I'm thinking about the attic. That could be close, but let me keep going. 12 miles. Please don't say this. 12 miles. No, cross that out. That is completely unreasonable. You would be in space. Nope, not gonna work, okay? So what do you think the best estimate is here? C, 12 yards, okay? So you're just gonna write C right over here. All right, now this page is just a little bit different. I am hoping that you have a ruler at home, okay? Because you are going to need to measure these. It says measure the height of each of the leaves, tip to top, the very end to the very end, and then place your results on the line plot, okay? So here, oh, and you know what? I don't even have a ruler to help you with this, but we're gonna do the example, okay? The example, if you measure from here to here, tip to top, that is 3/4 of an inch, okay? 3/4 of an inch. So they wrote that over here. And then look down here, half of your answers are gonna go right here. Now, if you want to, you might color them in just a little bit more, draw the lines if it makes it clearer for you and easier for you to see. But then if you see here, they took that 3/4 and they put an X there, okay? Because line plots, they show their information in X's. Okay, so over here where it says line plot, line plot, line plot, line plot, okay, you're gonna measure all of these, put the measurements here, but then don't forget all these answers, you should have them right here, okay? You're gonna put X's for every 3/4 you have, you're gonna put an X up there. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. I think this is the last one. Yes, it's the last one, it's the end. Okay, now this one, I'm hoping to work on whenever we get back a little bit more, because they tell us that when we go back, we won't have the big ugly test the next day. So that's good. Hopefully that stays. Okay, but this one, I just want you to work your very best on, okay? If you look here, it wants you to take time, units of time, and it wants you to convert them. So the first one is 206 minutes, okay? How many hours would that be? And then how many leftover minutes? Really what you need to do, because we know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, you need to take these, okay, and figure out how many times would 60 fit into 206? Well, there's 60, then times 2, that'd be 120, and then times 3, 180, times 4, 240, that's too much. So I know I can go 3 hours, and then how much time would I have left over there? 26 minutes, okay? And then you can do the opposite on the bottom. Okay, 5 hours and 58 minutes. Well, 5 hours times 60, okay, 5 times 6, 30, plus a 0, would be 300, plus 58 minutes, 358. Okay, I know we have not worked on this quite as much as what we should have, but I want you to do your very best, okay? We'll work on that one some more. I know this is super long, but I appreciate your work so much, okay? Thank you. And a big, huge shout out, because today at the Capitol, I just got home, but today at the Capitol, I saw Cadence and I saw Hudson. So I will be out there every day. If you guys want to come by, that'd be awesome. But big shout out, Cadence, Hudson. It was so good seeing you today. I miss your faces. Bye. Have a good day.